Now, why should we compare Canada and the European Union? It might not be so obvious at first glance because Canada is a country and the European Union is a collection of countries. At the same time, the European Union is a far advanced polity with a federal-like set of institutions, and they need to collaborate together to make common policies. Canada, as we all know, simple country like many other federations. At the same time, Canada isn't as deeply integrated as many might think. There are still differences between the taxes in Canada. Various provinces hold different sales taxes. So it's not as if the internal market of Canada is fully integrated, like in some other countries. So I think what we want to do when we compare Canada and the European Union is to see if we can learn from each other. In the European Union, a lot of policies are the responsibility of member states. In Canada, a lot of the responsibilities are with the provinces or territories. What we like to do when we compare Canada and the European Union is to see if there are best practices that can be learned. The European Union has responsibilities over trade with other countries. That's done at the central level. Same thing is in Canada. But for example, the labour policies, if you're going to be giving unemployment benefit and exactly how much, what the conditions are the responsibility of individual member states. To some extent, the same holds true in Canada. So what we're interested in studying is what can one learn from the European Union for Canada. The European Union, the stakeholders, trade unions, unemployed groups, as well as various different authorities from different member states, learn from each other by best practices and benchmarking. Within the Canadian context, this happens often much more informally and depends very much on the personalities who hold those positions. So we are interested in learning from each other and seeing if there are moments where we can learn from those best practices. There are a number of areas in which one can learn best practices. I mentioned already unemployment policies or labour market policies. Others could be post-secondary education. The European Union has all member states making their own decisions on post-secondary education, but in recent years they've decided to collaborate and learn and come up with an arrangement whereby they now have a master's, a BA master system that was created by a sort of a bottom-up approach, member states individually deciding that they would like to collaborate and have come to far advanced levels of integration of their post-secondary education. Canada in principle has quite a bit of integration, but there are many differences amongst the systems, difference in gradings and credits, numbers of credits, and those are areas in which Canada as a single country at this point may not be quite as integrated as the European Union is on a number of those aspects. So there are points where we can take best practices. Other areas are, for example, social inclusion or immigration. Here we have an area where Canada is very far advanced. The European Union is struggling in this area, and there are moments where you'd wonder if the European Union can learn more from Canada. Of course, even when there's integration that's not going so well, those can also be lessons for Canada. So if there are issues around that topic, it's also something that can be learned by others.